Bandidos from all corners of the world, prepare for a Mountain Dew fueled journey through the Division 2 with our mind-bendingly fast RPM DPS hybrid build that's quicker than an auctioneer on caffeine.
Now pour now has any pour now buy.
This isn't your average pew-pew build, no. We've cranked up the RPM so high, it's like we're firing bullets straight from the future. This build will have you firing a hellstorm of bullets faster than a pissed-off swarm of bees. And if that's not enough, we got 6 skill tiers that make us a cracked out, walking Swiss Army knife. Because our assault rifle is so jacked up on Mountain Dew, when it comes to skills, it's dealer's choice.
I am on fire.
So buckle up, Bandidos, because we're about to embark on a bullet frenzy that'll have you questioning the laws of physics. Pound that like button hard and comment RPM Rampage to join the chaos.
Ain't too many kids playing with us. Situation fight one. What's gonna do? Why go run?
Now, I know what you're thinking. Why do I need this ridiculously fast DPS hybrid build? All right, picture this. You're surrounded by hordes of enemies, outnumbered and outgunned. But fear not, because you know that friend who's always hopped up on caffeine, moving at 100 miles per hour, and seems to have an endless supply of energy? Well, this build is like that friend, riding the white pony on Red Bull and a double shot of espresso.
Here's Mountain Dew Zero.
It's the Division 2's very own speed demon with its insanely fast RPM, mind-blogging damage with a full litter of tech accessories to unleash chaos and reign supreme on the battlefield. Let me show you how to make it. So here is the build, and it features the Capacitor exotic assault rifle. This is an amazing gun if you don't know already. It's got a 10% crit chance mod, 30% crit hit damage, that's huge, 10% weapon handling, and 11 extra rounds. I got an 805 base RPM, but it's much higher than that. 41 rounds in the mag. We got 12% damage to armor. That's the highest damage to armor on any assault rifle, by the way. 9.5% health damage, 1.3 second reload time. What? That's crazy. And the talent is called Capacitance. So this is going to give us 60% more skill damage. More importantly, this weapon will get 7.5% weapon damage for every skill tier on the build. And we have 6 of those, plus 2 reds. Think about that power for a second. So we're running the Ninja Bike backpack, and that's to unlock additional brand set bonuses. I have a crit chance mod on this. The main gear set for the build is Umbra. It gives us 15% crit chance, 30% reload speed, and the talent from the shadows into the light. There's a lot of text here, but basically we're getting 30% RPM boost. That doesn't show up on the stats, by the way. 100% more crit damage, as well as armor regen when we're in cover. That's heals, free heals, Bandidos. So I'm running the chest piece, and that's what pushes us to 100 stacks, by the way, and that's what gives us that 100% crit damage. I have a skill tier on this, crit damage and crit chance. My second piece of Umbra is the holster, and it's got weapon damage and crit damage. My third piece is the knees with a skill tier and more crit damage. And of course, the Ninja is unlocking the 4-piece bonus for us. Hey Bandidos, the community we have built together wouldn't have been possible without you. So as a thank you for supporting my channel and the community, I am bringing you the hookup on member perks, including even more Division 2 content and the celebrated gaming music playlists. If you're not part of Tux's Players Club, click the join button below. And I'm running 2 pieces of Striker. I'm really after that rate of fire, but the weapon handling is also nice. We got a crazy fast reload time. And so we got skill tier, crit damage, and crit chance. And the gloves, I got skill tier and crit chance. Let me show you the stats. So I have 59% crit hit chance and 122% crit hit damage. That's the base crit damage. The gear set is putting another 100% on that. That's 222% crit damage. 222, that's a lot. And the weapon has that 12% armor damage too. So this thing shreds. I'm running the shotgun as backup, but I'm not really using it. And of course the pistol. And for the specialization, you really have a choice here because you can make this an additional skill tier and then you can go gunner or whatever you want. But I decided to go technician because gunner's 10% armor on kill was okay. But for me, I'd rather have the skill tier so that I can have more power. This equates to more power in the end because ultimately you're getting 15% more weapon damage because that skill tier is allowing you to run an extra red. So I went with more power. Now for skills, it really is dealer's choice. And the reason why is because your weapon is so strong and independent that you can change your skills based on the control point or the mission. So the turret, I'm pretty much sticking to the turret. That's a tier 6 turret. I got pretty standard mods on this thing. And remember that gets a 60% weapon boost there. For the second skill, I decided the shock trap was actually really cool because this is sort of a zonal play. Because we're not running the Memento, we're not getting bonus armor, and we don't have strong regen. The regen's okay on this build, but we don't have extra regen. I'll just put it that way. I decided that this is sort of a zonal play. So basically, you kind of hold down zones, kill everybody, move to a different zone or whatever. So the Shock Trapper is pretty nice at a tier 6. I mean, I realize that it's got a huge spread. You'll see in the gameplay. You can hold down entire zones. I mean, enemies just can't get through that wall of shock. And then you're shredding them down when they fall into that spider web. And your turret pulls aggro, so they're not shooting at you, they're shooting at your turret. So this is a really nice combination, but really go with whatever you feel like. The decoy would also be great. It's got 190% threat with a decent duration and cooldown. You can also go the Fixer Drone if you want really strong heals. That's 43,000 in heals. And of course, the Attack Drone at 45.7 plus additional damage coming from the capacitor is also nice because that pulls aggro away from you. And it also pulls enemies out of cover who are at a distance. You can even use a shield if you wanted to be on the go. That would be a tier 6 shield. Well, would be a pretty strong shield. So you can go with whatever. But this is a zonal play, so I felt like the shield wasn't the best. Lots to choose from there. Very fun build. And the capacitor on this kind of speed is really nice. Let me tell you just how fast this thing is actually going. So if you look at the RPMs, it says 805 RPMs. It does include that 15% rate of fire from Striker, but what it doesn't include is the 30% RPM increase from Umbra. And so again, Umbra is going to bring us 30% additional RPMs. 30% pushes that to almost 1,050 RPM. That's crazy fast for a weapon that is so strong with 222% crit damage behind it. So this is what the armor regen looks like as far as speed goes. It's pretty decent, as you can see. Now, I don't rely on that regen too much. It's sort of a nice to have. And so basically when you get out of cover and shoot, then you're going to be stacking more of that regen. Except you spend a lot of time out of cover. Even though you're standing behind cover, you're technically out of cover. So you are spending more time out of cover than you are in cover. And that's because you're shooting a lot. And the way Umbra works, if you haven't used this set, is basically when you're out of cover, you get your damage bonuses. And so that's what we want to take advantage of. That's that crit damage and the RPM. And then you earn your regen for being out of cover for at least 5 seconds. When you're in cover, you are earning your damage bonuses and using your healing bonuses, which is the regen. And so you only need to be in cover for 5 seconds. And so basically you're spending a lot of time out of cover because it takes a while for you to deplete your offensive stacks. What ends up happening is the heals, because you're not in cover for very long, you only need to be in cover for a little bit to refresh what you've lost for offensive stacks. That means you're not really taking the full breadth of your healing because you're popping in cover for maybe a second or less, maybe 2 seconds at the most. And so you're not really getting the most of your heals. Now that just depends on your play. So I've been using this build pretty aggressive. What I mean by that is I'm getting nice and close and I'm just constantly pelting the enemy with bullets. And that makes it very, very fun and exciting to use. But if you played a little bit more relaxed, then you'll probably have plenty of heals. If you don't feel like you have enough heals, if you feel like you need more, if you're taking more damage than you'd like, then go ahead and go with the healer. I think that's pretty good. It's a pretty good skill. If that doesn't work, you could also try the gunner specialization to get that 10% armor on kill, which isn't bad. You're gonna lose a little bit damage doing that, but you're gonna get some faster reloads, additional RPM on kill, and other fun little perks. There's lots of different ways you can go with this build. If you wanted to, you could also pull off some of that crit damage and push it to more repair skills by using your mods. That's another way to do it because you're plenty strong. You'll notice that. This isn't really a solo legendary build. I wouldn't really go all the way through legendary solo, but I did a little bit of it just to show you what this thing can do. Is it the strongest build in the game? No, it's not, but it feels like it, which is funny because of the RPM and what your skills can do and your shots on target, which is a really big deal. A lot of people discount that. So when people come into range and they do their DPS checks, you're getting 100% shots on target. In the field, that's not actually happening. So your time to kill with this build, because of its excellent handling, as well as ridiculously fast reload time, 1.3 seconds on an assault rifle, guys, is crazy. That's faster than most SMGs. So the capacitor has a small mag, but because of that reload, it does not bother you. You're constantly putting out damage. There's a lot of sustainable damage happening here at very high RPMs with those shots on target. And because of all of that, it does feel like you're running the strongest build, but it's a very respectable damage. I think you'll feel that, and a very good time to kill. I think you'll be pretty satisfied with it. Try this build, you won't regret it. If you love team builds, then this St. Elmo's legendary build is for you. It dishes out 2 million in bonus armor to each of your team members every 10 to 25 seconds. Insane.
Follow me.